At dusk on February 28, 1963, a cloud appeared in the skies above Flagstaff, Arizona, and remained sunlit for 28 minutes after sunset. It was highlighted in the May 1963 edition of Life magazine. William Branham explained that the cloud was part of the fulfillment of a vision that he had in December 1962.
Later, the angels appeared, as was prophesied. And at the same time, a great cluster of light left where I was standing and moved 30 miles high in the air and around the circle like the wings of the angels, and drawed into the skies the shape of a pyramid in the same constellation of angels that appeared. Science took the picture all the way from Mexico as it moved from northern Arizona, where the Holy Spirit said it would be standing 40 miles northeast of Tucson, and it went into the air, and Life magazine packed the pictures.
William Branham said that the angels appeared to him while he was standing in northern Arizona, and that when they left him, they created a cloud that was pictured in Life magazine. But there are a few problems with this. First, 40 miles northeast of Tucson is not northern Arizona. Go get a map, measure it for yourself. The southern tip of the cloud was just north of Flagstaff when the photo was taken. Flagstaff is in northern Arizona, and Tucson is in southern Arizona. Second, the cloud that appeared in Life magazine was photographed 1 week before William Branham went hunting. William Branham's daughter, Rebecca Smith, confirmed this in an article she wrote called The Road to Sunset, which was published in the Only Believe magazine. Finally, William Branham was hunting in the morning and the cloud appeared in the evening. So if the cloud was not caused by angels leaving Brother Branham, as he claimed during this sermon, what caused it to appear? In the Life magazine article, Dr. James MacDonald stated that he was not aware of any rocket explosions that day. However, he later wrote a supplemental report where he discusses the explosion of a Thor rocket that had been launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California earlier that day. So we looked at the story of the rocket to try to see how likely it was that this explosion caused the cloud. And here's what we found. On February 28, 1963, a thrust-assisted Thor Agenda D rocket was launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. The rocket was carrying a military spy satellite. The rocket malfunctioned and was intentionally destroyed at 1:52 in the afternoon at an estimated height of 44 kilometers. The height of the cloud that appeared over Flagstaff later that same day was estimated to be about 43 kilometers high. Is this just a random coincidence? In order to travel the required distance from California to Arizona, the cloud would have to be traveling at 135 miles per hour that afternoon. And Dr. James MacDonald wrote that the wind speed recorded by scientists was tantalizingly close to the 135 mile an hour wind speed required to carry the cloud from Vandenberg to Flagstaff. The prevailing winds in California blow from west to east. It is also not unusual for jet stream winds to vary in speed as you go from south to north. Wind speeds on March 1st, 1963, at an altitude of 43 kilometers were 90 miles an hour at White Sands, New Mexico, and 125 miles an hour at Point Mugu, California. Winds and atmospheric conditions are notoriously unpredictable. However, rocket trails from launches at Vandenberg Air Force Base are regularly seen in Arizona and even as far east as Oklahoma City. On March 27, 2012, NASA launched 5 suborbital sounding rockets which released a chemical tracer that created milky white clouds 60 miles above the Earth. They did this to learn about wind speeds in the mesosphere. The pictures that they took reveal circular clouds similar to the February 28, 1963 cloud. Someone imposed the picture of Jesus from Hoffman's painting, Christ at 33, into the photo of the 1963 cloud. The painting first had to be reversed to do this. If you are not a message believer, you are likely offended by this picture. Still, you can take the same picture from Hoffman's painting and impose it on the clouds from March 2012 without reversing it. If you are a message believer, you are likely offended by this picture. But whether you're looking at the 1963 cloud or the 2012 cloud, you have to manipulate the image to make the picture fit. Questions have been raised as to why the cloud was not seen between Vandenberg and Flagstaff. However, noctilucent clouds are very thin and only visible at dawn or dusk. They cannot be seen until the sky starts to darken overhead as it does at sunset. That is why the cloud appeared over Flagstaff in the evening and was not seen between California and Flagstaff. Based on all the facts available, it is not only plausible, but highly likely that the cloud over Flagstaff was formed by the high-altitude destruction of the Thor rocket over Vandenberg Air Force Base. However, our examination of the cloud is not over. We will next look at whether the cloud could be in any way related to the events which occurred at Rattlesnake Mesa.